Oh, I thought somebody with cakey makeup that keeps creasing and cracking asked for help. Oh, you did? Well, let's start. Going in with the Danessa Myricks Water Powder Serum, I applied that over my entire face. Then I went in with her blurring balm powder in Universal and put that in just my T-zone because that's where I get the oiliest. And then I went over my entire face with this Milani primer. For whatever odd reason, I start jumping back and forth. I then went into color correcting. I used this green one from Maybelline and then this peach one from Elf. And then I went back to priming by spraying my face with the Fix Plus matte version. And then I went into blending out my color correctors. Once the color correctors is all blended out, I'm going to go in with a translucent powder. Ever so lightly, I'm just setting the color correctors with this. I do not want these to move at all when I start putting more products onto my face. Once that's done, I'm going in with Tarte Shape Tape and I'm gonna put this over top the green color corrector to conceal that area up. Then I'm using this Juvia's Place concealer and I'm going to go underneath my eyes, my chin, my forehead, down the bridge of my nose, and my Cupid's bow. I'm using this one to highlight my face. And then for bronzer, I'm going to go in with this Juvia's Place one. For whatever odd reason, a lot of the girlies don't know the difference between bronzing and contouring. Bronzer is when you use a warm shade one to bring warmth to the face, and then contouring is when you use a grayish tone to bring shadows to the face. So no, you are not contouring with bronzer. That's not how it works. Now for contour, I'm going to use this CoverGirl stick and I'm just going to go on my double chin area because I want it to look a little bit smaller. And then I'm also going to use it in the hollows of my cheeks. I'm not going to put too much because I don't want things to get too muddy. Going back in with bronzer, I'm just using this to basically put lines down the side of my nose because I don't like to contour my nose. And if it wasn't for the fact that my nose would look kind of flat with all the other makeup, I wouldn't even be doing this at all. Now I'm applying this pink blush stick over top of my under eye highlight because I want this to blend in and look smooth, gradient, ombre once I put in my other blushes. Starting off with blush, I'm using this Milk Makeup wand in the shade Quirk, and I'm applying this on the back parts of my cheeks, my temples, and my brow bone. And I'm stamping this on there. It don't look like it's been going on too long on this video, but I'm telling you, I've been putting this blush on for a good minute or two. I'm packing it on there. Now I'm going to blend out my face. I'm going to start off with blending the highlights. I am making sure that I let the under eye part sit as long as I possibly can before blending it out. That's why I applied it first. I want it to get the most full coverage possible out of it. So that's why I let it sit the longest. Also, I feel like letting it sit this long and drying down, it helps with not having creases because it is a little bit stiffer. It's not all the way stiff because we're using a damp beauty blender and it is still a little bit wet, but I feel like when you wait for it to get as dry as possible, it doesn't move as much. I guess that's what you want to say. I don't know. But as you see, look at them under eyes. Look at it. Not a single crease, nowhere. It's blended, it's smooth, it's highlighted, but it's also pink. Now, I'm not using any more extra product. I'm just going back over top of the blush parts just so it's blush on top and not concealer. And also this helps blend it in a little bit more so that way you don't see any demarcation. Now I'm taking that CoverGirl blush stick again, and I'm going on the center parts of my face with this. So I'm going on the apples of my cheeks, over my nose, and I'm just blending that in. Look at it. Smooth, flawless, blended. Now I'm blending out any demarcation and any creases, if there are any, which there aren't, underneath the eyes. And then I'm going to set it with this banana powder from Fenty, and this is a light set. We're not baking. We are going to bake later, but we're not baking right now. So this is just a very light set, just to make sure nothing moves and to really lock in the no creases. Once all the highlighted areas is set with this banana powder, I'm going to start setting everything else. So now I am setting my bronzer with this Maybelline Fit Me bronzer, and I'm also setting the contour with this. I didn't go in with a grayish shade for the contour. I just plopped this on everything and called it a day. Alrighty, my bronzer and contour is just about all set. Now I'm going to start setting in the blush. I'm going in with this Milani one. It's a baked blush. It's like blush and highlighter in one. The shade is Red Vino. And again, I'm going to be packing this blush on. It seems like it's short clips in this video, but I'm telling you, each step of blush is at least like a minute long. So I'm packing this in on the back parts of my cheeks, my temple, and my brow bone. I started flipping flopping again. For whatever odd reason, I started going in with this cream highlighter from Danessa Myricks. Once I highlighted my face with that, I went back to blush, which this one I used a ColourPop one. It is so pretty. It's a bright pink, and I'm using this on the forefront of my cheeks. Look how blended and smooth that is. I even swiped it underneath the eye a little bit, just so everything can just be so gradient and smooth and blended and creamy. And jumping back again to highlighter, because I want to put it on top of the blush. I felt like once I put that ColourPop blush on, now it kind of like hid a little bit of the highlighter, so going back on top. Now I'm going to set the highlighter with an OG. This is Gilded Honey by Laura Geller. Once the highlighter is all set, I'm going in with my foundation. I don't use a liquid foundation. I like to use a powder foundation. I'm carving out underneath the bronzer contour area just to make it a little bit sharper. It was a little bit too blown out to my liking. And then I am going to go over my entire face with this foundation. Once I get to like the cheek areas with the blush and the contour and all that stuff, I'm not adding really too much more powder on my face. It's really whatever I had left over on the brush. Me blending like this is what ties everything in. It tones down the blush and stuff a little bit, so it's not like boom, radiant face, clown ass bitch, blush everywhere. It calms it down a little bit, but overall it's blending the entire face, giving me kind of, I don't want to say the same tone, because you definitely could see the blush, the highlight, the bronzer, all that stuff, but it just blends it all in. It makes everything look smooth and effortless. Then here I go, jumping around again. I used setting spray, MAC Fix Plus. Patted it in with a beauty sponge, dried it down with a fan, because now I'm going to bake with this lavender setting powder. This is also a brightening powder. I'm baking with this, and I'm going to do my eye makeup. Now that my eye makeup is done, I'm wiping away that bake. Finishing off the bottom lashes of the eye makeup, I just threw on any old brown liner. I lined the top of my eyes. I didn't show it. I lined the top of my eyes with this eyeliner. And I also sprayed my face again with the continuous setting spray by Morphe. For whatever odd reason, I did not show that part neither. Put on lash glue. Pop these damn lashes on. Went in with my favorite mascara, Lights Camera Lashes by Tarte. Blended in the falsies with my real ones. Packed it on my bottom lashes so I can make them show, because my bottom line is like damn near non-existent. Lining my lips with Espresso from NYX. I lined my lips and also filled in the outer corners of my top and bottom lip, leaving the center of my lips blank. Blended in a little bit. Went in with this Dose of Colors liquid lipstick. This is a replaceable. It is a Minnie Mouse collection or a Disney collab with them. I don't know. I love it. It's beautiful. It's cute. Look at that. And you can keep it matte, which if it was 2016, we probably would have kept it matte. But I wanted a glossy lip, so I went on top of it with this Marc Jacob lip gloss. It's such a beautiful red shade, and it gives me the right amount of gloss. It's not too sticky. I hate a sticky gloss. Blend it in some, and then that is it. Here we are. Like, look at this face. Look at here. Look, flawless. All right, bye.